Your home might look great. Updated kitchen, staged beautifully, priced just right. But under the surface, there could be a few hidden deal breakers that completely derail your sale, even after you go into escrow. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the most common issues that scare buyers off, whether you're in Long Beach, Seal Beach, or any of the surrounding areas, and how to know what's worth fixing and what you can skip or maybe negotiate during the escrow process. This isn't about scaring you, it's about being prepared, because a lot of deals fall apart late in the game, not because of price, but because of something the seller didn't even realize was a problem. If you've lived in your home for 10 or 20 years, there may be things you've gotten used to, but that buyers see as red flags. Or maybe there's things that you're not even aware of that are deficits. Let's go through them. Deal breaker number 1, outdated or unsafe electrical. This is one of the biggest ones that I see come up, especially in older homes, in areas like Belmont Heights or Belmont Shore, Seal Beach, Los Altos, Park Estates, Naples. It's electrical wiring. Even if it's never been a problem for you, buyers and their inspectors, once they are in escrow, often see it differently. In some cases, outdated panels or knob and tube wiring or recalled electrical panels can make a home unsafe, which means it'll get called out by the buyer's inspection company and become a concern for the buyer. The buyer will either ask the homeowner to replace or fix what's called out by their inspector, or they will ask for a credit that may or may not be accurate depending on where their estimate came from. And let me tell you that I've gotten some doozies over the years as far as credits go, or credit requests. This is one of those fixes that isn't flashy, but can be worth every penny when it comes to keeping a buyer in escrow. I'm going to just tell you a quick story about a recall panel situation, and this comes up quite a bit in Long Beach. There are several different recall panels that we come across, especially in the Long Beach area. One in particular, which is Federal Pacific, and I had one last year, and it was a trust sale in the East Long Beach area. And the family was out of area. They had renovated the whole property to sell it, but the contractor didn't do anything with the panel and left the old panel. And when I walked through the property and noticed the panel, it was a Federal Pacific panel. And I called the family and I said, look, guys, this is going to be a problem, and here's why. I knew exactly what was going to happen, and that was exactly what happened. The buyer's inspector called it out, and sure enough, the buyer asked for a credit, and the credit was ridiculous. The credit was actually not only for an electrical panel, but they happened to throw in a charging station in the garage. It was ridiculous. So in the end, my seller, that deal fell apart, and this is what happens. And my seller ended up changing out the panel. We put the property back on the market, and we ended up getting it sold. So that's one example, but this is why I say it's better to know ahead of time and get ahead of it. And there's different ways to mitigate these types of things. Deal breaker number 2, unpermitted additions or garage conversions. A converted garage might be useful, but if it wasn't permitted and it doesn't meet code, buyers can get nervous. We see people doing this, trying to convert their garages into ADUs without permits. That doesn't mean you need to undo the work, but it's important to know how to disclose it properly. In Long Beach, we have a parking impacted area that requires a city inspection, in which case you will need to show permits for any garage conversion, or they will call it out during the city inspection if you are in the parking impacted area. And yeah, they might make you undo everything that you did. If you aren't sure whether you are or aren't, just reach out and we can help you with that. Not every area in Long Beach needs a city inspection, only if you are in the parking impacted area, and it's parts of Belmont Heights and a lot of the downtown area. Unpermitted additions in general need to be disclosed, and they don't count as legal square footage, especially in the eyes of the appraiser. And yes, they do check. In some cities, unpermitted additions can hold up the appraisal process or even require changes before closing. Deal breaker number 3, major plumbing or sewer issues. Oh, this one's one of my favorites. Buyers are asking more questions about sewer lines and cast iron plumbing, especially in areas with homes that are over 50 years old. They're requesting sewer scopes during their inspection process more and more. If your drains have been slow or backing up even once, it's worth having it scoped before putting your home on the market. This gives you control instead of letting it become a surprise that could potentially blow up a deal. Deal breaker number 4, foundation or structural concerns. You may or may not have even noticed minor cracks in your drywall or uneven floors, but buyers do, and inspectors may be pointing that out. And if you have a crawl space and your foundation could be crumbling in some areas, that could be a potential problem. Sometimes it's cosmetic, but sometimes it's a sign of settlement or foundation issues. Either way, disclosure is key. A pre-listing inspection or structural engineer's note can prevent panic and help buyers feel reassured that there's no hidden monster under the house, especially with homes that were built around the turn of the century, again, in areas like Belmont Heights or Belmont Shore, or even the Bixby Knolls area and Virginia Country Club area, the areas where homes were, again, built during the turn of the century. So what's worth fixing? Not everything. Focus on the things that affect insurability, safety, or functionality. In today's market, buyers are more willing to live with dated cabinets than risk a $20,000 sewer replacement or surprise foundation issues. If it's a system the buyer can't easily see, but it could cost them big later, it's more likely to be a deal breaker. And I've had many of these over the years pop up unexpectedly during the escrow process. If you live in an older home and you just aren't sure what condition the systems are in and you don't want any surprises later, then I would recommend getting a seller home inspection. It's like what a buyer's inspection is going to be, and it will allow you to know now what deficits you need to be aware of if you are thinking about selling your home. The best thing you can do is get ahead of these issues and not wait until a buyer flags them. If you can't afford to deal with them now, then at least we know what they are and we can discuss options to deal with them during the sale, because let's face it, they aren't going away and they would have popped up later anyway, right? Talking to someone who knows what buyers in this market are asking about and what inspectors are flagging can save you time, money, and a lot of stress during the escrow process. If you want help knowing what to look for, I am here to help. You can scan the QR code on your screen to book a call, and I'm happy to talk to you and help you in any way that I can. Bye for now.